What's happening with interest rates? When are they going to come down?
I don't think they are. I think interest rates are there. When you look at the last, 40 years of American interest rates, we are right dead center, even where they should be.
Mhm.
Now, the government's going to, the government doesn't necessarily move interest rates, but interest rates are moved, and the government kind of controls it based on what they want the economy to do or not do. So everything I'm about to say, with a grain of salt, take that. But interest rates are where they are because that's generally where they've been. We've just been spoiled like little kids the last, 10 years where it's like 3%. Like, what's your lowest interest rate you ever got,
2.8.
Yes, I had a 2.9. I'm like, that's stupid. Like, that's not, I don't think we're ever going to see it again. And I think we should take that approach that we will never see that again, ever. If it happens, hallelujah. But I don't think we'll ever see it again. I think we'll see, where are we at right now? Like 6.5, call it for a house, 7, depends on who you go to, right? It went down. Obviously it went way up to 8, went back down to about 6. Now we're sitting at maybe 7. That's I think the next 10 years is 5, 6, 7, 8, 5, 6, 7, 8, fluctuating in there.
And how do you see that impacting the market though in the short term?
Yeah, people are not moving as much right now. They're not buying as much, and that's fine. But it's a relative thing. We get people used to. It happened already when people were used to 8 and rates dropped to 6.5. A bunch of people refinanced and moved, and if the transaction happened, we went back up again a little bit. People slowed down, and again, that's what happens. And so now, if we don't get to 2 again, I don't think anybody expects to get to 2 again. So when rates drop, we'll get an influx of the market. So they're still controlling the market. The government is somewhat trying to control the market, real estate, and they're trying to balance that with every other part of the market. And it more or less seems to be working. They're kind of doing it. Yeah, does it suck right now for a lot of aspects of real estate? Sure, it's a hard time to invest right now. But are there ways to make it work? Sure. It's kind of like dollar cost averaging too. Like if it's hard right now, sure. But we can still invest in real estate now. And then when things get better, like great, we're going to buy more real estate. And then if things go down, that's okay. I'm just going to find ways to make it work now. And then when it goes back up, so we'll just play that game.
Yeah. This is something that Jack mentioned to me last night. We found very interesting. We were at this event that you hosted called like the top, what is it?
The 50?
The 50.
The 50, yeah.
50 people pay $50,000 a year.
Yeah.
And you're surrounded by people who have $100 million plus worth of real estate.
There's some ridiculous people there. Yeah.
Jack said that you pointed out this person's going to be a billionaire.
Yeah.
That person's going to be a billionaire. That one's going to be a billionaire. What qualities do you look for and how do you know?
Yeah, good question. One, I think there's just this probably maybe most importantly is it's not a hope. It's just they know they're going to be a billionaire, right? It's just it's not a weird thing. They're just like, yeah, well, of course I am. Like when you look, especially age and time, like the kid you were talking to, kid again. Yeah, we're all old men talking about these 24-year-old kids. Yeah, but Arik, who's coming on my podcast, actually, we're filming him in 3 hours from now. He's 24. Is he in already $80 million of real estate? As long as he doesn't drastically wreck something or the market doesn't completely tank, given a 30 or 40-year span, he definitely is going to get there. But the same with some of the guys that if their net worth is $200 million right now. There's guys in the group that have $1 million net worth, and they're pretty relaxed. And they're like, yeah, I just like to buy a few more properties every year. And yeah, I'm not going to say they're going to be a billionaire. But the guy that's at $150 million net worth, he owns 5,000 houses, and he's aggressive, and he knows yeah, I'm going to keep growing this thing. I love it. How is he not how is he not going to be a billionaire?
Right, even if he just grows at 12%.
Yeah, just a decent number. I used to think I was going to be a billionaire. I've changed though over the past year. A year ago, if you'd asked me, I was like, yeah, I should be a billionaire. Just based on the next 30 years of growth of my portfolio, if I just keep doing what I'm doing with Open Door Capital, with the properties, with raising whatever, yeah, I'll be a billionaire, and that's fine. What's changed is my motivation. I had another kid just a few weeks ago, and so I've got 3 now, and I'm really enjoying that. And I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna do for the next 30 years what I've done for the past 10. I think I'm gonna slow down dramatically, and that's okay. I've come to a place where I'm like, well, I don't need $1 billion. If I wanted it, I'm sure I could probably fight for it and have a pretty decent chance. So, but yeah, so you see it in some people. They have the ability to, because they have a business mind and they've got a strategy to get there. This is going to sound silly, but it's not that hard to make. This is going to sound really silly. It's not that hard to make $1 billion when you're investing in real estate, because if you buy $2 billion of real estate, and again, people are like, that's ridiculous, but you can do it with partners, bringing people, raise money. When you're talking $100 million apartment complexes, it's not that many of them. So you buy a couple $1 billion of real estate, and then over a time period, 5, 10, 15 years, that goes from $2 billion to $4 billion. Okay, you just made $2 billion. Yeah, you had partners. Okay, so they get a bunch of the money. So they might get half that and you get the other billion. That's just how billionaires are made in real estate. It's not a super complex thing. And the process of buying $100 million apartment complex is really not that different. And in fact, I would argue it's easier than buying a $100,000 house in a lot of ways, because you have people, you have teams. I mean, yes,
less competition.
Less competition, yeah. And it's just so much more systematized and less drama. And so, like, if you can buy a $1 million house or a $1 million apartment, you can buy a 10 million or a 50 or 100. There's little nuanced differences, but that's why I say it's not hard to be a billionaire in real estate if you really wanted it. And if you're willing to scale and you have that vision for getting there, shoot, yeah, it's not that hard.
How was the guy able to get $80 million of real estate at 24 years old?
Yeah,
how did he do that?
Yeah, go listen to my episode when it comes out. No, here's his strategy, and this could work. And I feel like he should tell his story, but better than I can. But I can just tell you a bit of it. Is he utilizes a combination of seller financing, which is where the owner of the property will carry the mortgage, right? So imagine, if this is confusing, imagine, Jack, you have a car. What do you drive?
A Tesla.
Okay, nice. Okay, you got a Model Y. What's that thing worth?
Rob it. What? Okay.
What do you want it? What's it worth?
What price did you pay, and what it's worth today?
Yeah. Top of the market, I purchased it for 58 all in, and it's probably worth 30.
Okay, that's fine. Do you own anything on it?
No.
Okay, so you own it free and clear. $30,000 is probably what it's worth. I want to buy that car from you, but I don't have 30 grand. So can I have the car and I'm going to make payments to you? Is that cool? Just say yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to pay you. What's a good monthly payment for that, do you think?
I want $500 per month.
Perfect. I'm going to pay you $500 a month for the next X number of years. I don't know how many years that is. Now, I'm going to own the car. Like, it's going to be my car. It's mine, but you are going to have a lien on it. In other words, if I don't pay you back, you can go and repossess my car. That's done all the time, right? When you buy a car from a dealership, it's your car, technically, but the dealer or the financier, whoever ended up with the loan, they have that lien. They can just go and foreclose, or not foreclose. They can repo it from you. Real estate, exactly the same way. And so you have a house worth $30,000. I want your house. And so obviously, just trying to keep the math the same, I'm going to pay you $500 a month for your $30,000 house for the next X number of years. And you get the monthly payment. The seller financing is fascinating. It's a great model. A lot of investors, my buddy Gabe Hamill, he's built his entire portfolio, millions and millions of dollars. He's built it just off seller financing. That's pretty much all he's ever done. Now, why would a seller do that? Like, why would you do that? Because you want $500 a month. Like, yeah, you could sell me your car for 30 grand. I could give you 30 grand. Well, now what? You got to pay taxes on it. So you're going to lose 10 grand just in taxes on that thing. So now you only get left with 20, and you're an old guy. What are you going to do with 20 grand? Stick in the stock market? Oh, that makes you nervous, because, like, what if that goes down? That's my retirement. But I like $500 a month, and I know the car. It's a nice car. I can take it back if I needed to. So that's why guys do seller financing. I've done seller financing for people.
How does taxes work on that? Because you mentioned the tax thing, that if you get the $30,000 up front, you're going to pay tax on it.
Yeah.
How does that work in real estate? Are you only taxed on the monthly payment?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, the simplistic version of it, but yeah. So when you do seller financing, you only pay taxes on the money you're receiving. You don't pay it on the entire amount. So again, let's say I wanted to buy $1 million property from somebody. In fact, my very first apartment complex, I bought a 24-unit apartment complex when I was 24 years old. And the owner, they didn't want, it was like let's call it 500,000. It was roughly 500K for this 24 unit. They didn't want to own anymore. They wanted to travel. They were mid-70s. They had an RV. They wanted to go travel and see their grandkids around the country. But they were relying on that income because they were running the company. They were running the day-to-day operations, but they didn't want to run the day-to-day operations. So instead, they sold it to me. I paid them every single month, and they just went and traveled around. And so they just paid taxes every year on whatever they received in that year. And again, it's pretty low tax rate because you're just basically getting interest. I think it's just interest money at that point. Yeah, pretty cool strategy. So when guys like get a lot of real estate for no money down, a lot of times what they're doing is they're doing a combination of some seller financing, like they might get the seller to carry a $1 million second mortgage, and then they go to a bank and they get the first mortgage for a $4 million one. So they have $4 million from the bank, they have $1 million from the seller, and there's the $5 million needed to buy this property, let's say. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So that's one strategy that a lot of people utilize. to get big real estate deals for really no money out of pocket.
Now, really quick here, Real Talk, short-form content has been one of the biggest drivers of growth for the Iced Coffee Hour. We'll take our best moments and then clip them up for platforms like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and more. But let's be honest, it takes a lot of time to do it correctly. That's why tools like our sponsor, Opus Clip, are a game changer.
Opus Clip isn't just a clipping tool anymore, though. It's a full AI-powered video editor built for creators. It can automatically pull in your long-form YouTube videos, find the best moments, add captions, B-roll, and even schedule clips to post while you're away. It's like having a full-blown editing team, but powered by AI. Top creators like Jubilee and Darman are already using it. In fact, we already use it on the Iced Coffee Hour. If you see this clip that Togi's reacting to right now, it was made by Opus Clip. So sign up today. All you have to do is go to opus.pro/icedcoffeehour to get started. Again, that is opus.pro/icedcoffeehour, or click the link down below in the description. Seriously, guys, I could not recommend it more. Thank you so much to Opus Clip for sponsoring this episode.